Oh, hello, welcome to another video. You join me on my walk. Obviously this very sort of wet walk down the sort of the Taff Trail. Just been to the sort of the weir that I go to each day. Again, you can see, obviously I've seen on like previous videos, but again, my daily walk down here down the sort of the Taff Trail. Just show you there, and you got the river like either side. Yeah, like I said, it's very wet at the moment, but here we are. Anyway, how are you? Well, things are good, thanks for asking. So yeah, it's been a good week, like sort of in terms of injuries and stuff since the last video. Things are getting better, doing a bit more training, like sort of progressing into that, like sort of managing these niggles, trying to sort of like strengthen the tendons so they can cope with more load. Again, like sort of be able to sort of do exercises pain-free, things like that. Again, it's a balance of managing the sort of the amount I'm training and then like the intensity, and then like sort of doing like the rehab, the exercise in the background to strengthen the hips, strengthen the tendon so it can cope with the load. It's not so much sort of like a stretching and mobility issue. Again, it's just because obviously the hip and the tendon had, like with Hyrox, they have so much sort of work. Like they have so much demand, like it's everything. It's just like everything in Hyrox is just hips and like your ass. So it's just like strengthen the tendon, like the small tissues to find, like because the muscles are like much bigger and can cope with it. But again, it's just like the tendons and ligaments are sort of, they can't keep up. So that's like when you get sort of like niggles on your knee, like around your knee and stuff, whatever. It's generally from like obviously your thighs done a lot of work, your quads have done a lot of work, but just your sort of perhaps your tendons or ligaments around your knee, they just can't recover as fast, and it feels like joint pain, but it's just a sort of like the soft tissue around there. So anyway, so that's where I'm at. Again, a lot better. But yeah, this week obviously tickets for Cardiff Hyrox went on sale. Got the early bird, like jumped them out on Wednesday, so got our ticket. That's at the end of April. Managed to get the sort of the Saturday afternoon slot as well, which is amazing. So Saturday afternoon, I think end of April is the May Day weekend. Back in the sort of Principality Stadium, Cardiff Hyrox, doubles again with Geraint. Yeah, can't wait. Like he was sort of, he said, oh yeah, I've recovered from Madrid now, the trauma of Madrid, and ready to go. I want to do it again. I was like, awesome, let's do it. Can't wait. So yeah, I'm slowly, so obviously building. I'm not going to switch into prep like I've done before, and just progressing now, slowly adding in a bit more fitness, slowly adding in a bit more running. Again, easing in, because we got sort of about 12, just over 12 weeks now. So again, it's just building that in slowly. Yeah, so 12 weeks out. So what's my training, like my prep going to look like? So again, it's going to be sort of 5 days a week. Like, so we're still going to keep some obviously lifting in. Like I follow, so I'm coached by the guys at March On. That's my sort of my coach and my plan there, and it's just following and like obviously adapting that then as obviously each week as we need to, depending on how my bodies respond, how I feel, things like that. Like, but the main principles are obviously it's building back in like running. We'll have one sort of like longer run day. We'll have one sort of like interval sort of running day. We'll have sort of like a Hyrox type sort of circuit day, whereas again it's work like a compromised runs, like so you're doing sort of running with an exercise, you get used to running fucked basically, well your legs are blown up, and then in between that then what we're going to do is some strength days, like a bit sort of some strength exercises, and then some sort of like EMOMs intervals like at the end of that then. So again, with 5 days a week, what it typically looks like is perhaps lift on a Monday. Again, perhaps 3 to 4 like sort of key exercises, like your squat, your bench, your pull-ups, things like that. Then obviously on that day we'll do some sort of intervals, whether it's like sort of rowing, ski, farmers, burpees, whatever. Like Tuesday, perhaps we're going to do some running intervals, just purely run intervals, perhaps 500 to 1k intervals, different distances, different rest periods. Wednesday then would be similar to Monday, lift again, slightly different exercises, and then just some again different type intervals, or like an AMRAP. So again, there's like work for sort of 8-minute blocks, things like that, just like continuously without any rest. Thursday generally a rest day. Friday it'd be more sort of like the Hyrox thing, like the compromised run. So do like run into some sort of lunges, run into some farmers, whatever, and perhaps work on some skill, work on some technique as well. And then Saturday is just generally the longer run, like perhaps 45 to 75 minutes, easy pace, longer run, building up the aerobic base to sort of cope with the sort of the time demand of the training. And that's what sort of more the training will look like going into it. In terms of actual sort of nutrition and stuff, like I'm going to keep the sort of like trimming down now in the calorie deficit, trying to like trim down, get my weight down sort of a few kilos, tighten up a bit. As the sort of the training starts ramping up, I'll put sort of more, so like the bigger demand days, I'll put sort of perhaps like increase my calories on those, have a higher day on those. And then obviously as we're perhaps sort of 6-7 weeks out, yeah, obviously push the calories up a bit, because we want to focus more on performance then. It's not about getting lean. It's obviously we want to sort of, like, we've got lean, so it's easy to hold that place, the physique. So then we can just obviously focus more on sort of recovery. We can focus on performance and like obviously pushing out. We got the fuel and the carbs to support it. In terms of supplements, everyone's favourite. It used to be my favourite. I used to love supplements, but like the supplements I sort of taking or will be taking. What we got here? We got omega-3. So take about sort of 3 grams of that a day. Again, vitamin D from Nutrition Geeks. I've tried more of their products. It is pretty good. What's that? 4,000 I use a day there. Oh shit, that's gone there. Magnesium I take every night before. I've just recently started this one. 3-in-1 magnesium. Again, it's got glycinate, citrate, and malate. Different types of magnesium. They have different, like, they affect the body differently. That's been pretty good. So yeah, another Nutrition Geeks. I take that before bed. What we got then? Like sort of vitamin C then as well. Take a chewable 1,000 milligrams there. Again, immune system, especially this time of year. It's all, like I said, keeping that immune system like sort of as strong as we can and bulletproof. I've got a multivitamin, but that's run out. I take some zinc then as well before bed. And then sort of some like cognitive stuff, so for help with like work, focus, and memory. Some lion's mane, and then some ginseng then as well. To take those again, obviously helps with mood, everything like that. Give me a sec, put these back in the cupboard. But the main ones there again, your omega-3s, the vitamin D. I'd say like sort of magnesium's really good. You want to sort of focus on those, get those first. Then we got sort of, I'm a big fan of this, like sort of some ginger shots. I really be taking those a lot. Have 1, if not 2 of those a day. Like sort of if I am feeling under the weather, like whatever, or I am sort of under the weather, yeah, just like double up, triple up on these. Just so some ginger shots. I just get those from Asda. I got some. Wait, come down here, just into this cupboard. Where the fuck is this? Hello. Some creatine then as well. So just creatine monohydrate. Again, I sort of have that probably, yeah, just 5 grams of that. Like sort of just in some water, in a protein shake, whatever. Just any time of the day, sort of perhaps with a meal, like in the morning, whatever. When again, there's no sort of set time you need to take it. Just take it whenever works for you. So that's the sort of my main supplements, I think. I'm not missing anything. Electrolytes then. Again, I take these like perhaps 1 or half a tablet in the morning just to really help with hydration, or especially when you got like sort of longer workouts. Again, add those in then when you do sweat a lot more. Just really help with the sort of like, as well as water, to help you sort of with muscular function, things like that. Like the sort of the electrolytes are what you lose in sweat. So add those in. But those are like the main ones. Again, supplements are not a big thing. I used to be massive on supplements in sort of in my early 20s, like BCAAs, fat burners, different types of protein, all these different things, and just like they don't do anything. But yeah, like obviously protein then as well, sorry, yeah, forgot about that. Protein powder, yeah, so that's my current sort of protein powder, some PBN. Nothing, like I say, just it's a pretty good one, really cheap, like that's off Amazon, PBN. Again, it's probably like half the price compared to like normal protein these days, because protein is ridiculously priced compared to what it used to be. So that's PBN, like really good value for money. Like that's the chocolate flavour, really good sort of mixability, really good flavour. So I use that a lot. Because yeah, if you want my protein, if you go on like Optimum Nutrition, stuff like that, oh my God, fucking hell, you're going to be paying, that cost me £30 for that tub. Like again, you go on, yeah, my protein, you spend like 50, 60 quid, if not more. It's ridiculous. I think that's the main thing with supplements. Again, it's just like, because they are like to supplement obviously what you were doing. They are add-ons, like so the protein obviously helps top up the protein intake. Omega-3s, like obviously they're really good. They got so many benefits. And I don't eat much fish. And then you got like vitamin D, because obviously you need that in this country because there's hardly any sunlight. Then like I said, creatine, that's going to help us sort of all different like energy, training, performance recovery, etc. Cognitive as well. Then you got like vitamin C for immunity, zinc and magnesium for sort of like testosterone, sort of again immunity, just all different, like they all sort of serve different purposes, and it's just like, so getting your body as healthy as you can, and that's the main thing.